10:38 at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Michael. That's Gwen. Kerry Roberts is joining us. We last visited with Kerry when you were running for the District 6 United States congressional seat, of which you had the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. I endorsed you in CC, and therefore you both lost.
Thank you.
Nothing like having my support. If you're a radio station, you're a two-share. If you're a football team, you surely lose late in the second half. But, you and I have had a lot of correspondence since then about you were clear about your passion to serve. You were clear about what God has done in your life to craft you to be what we really need in a servant. And then the next question is, well, where do I serve? And so somebody runs for an office and then loses, and they think, oh, well, maybe God was wrong, or maybe I misheard him. And not you. And so what I really respect is how long, because I know you and I have been going back and forth months, you and your family had discussed this and prayed about this, and you've made the decision to run for office in a special election.
Well, we did, and you're exactly right. Just because you lose, it doesn't take away your passion to serve. And at no point in this process were we upset with God and thought that we wasted the past year. If you think about it, to be in a race with two state senators, that's a real learning experience.
Sure.
On top of that, we had all the gubernatorial candidates with us quite a bit. So to be able to learn from our governor-elect, the lieutenant governor, or congressman, that's an education that you just...
Of course, I could always take you to the mall. What are those cheesy stores where they have with the posters? The attitude and... but if you've ever seen the one with Lincoln, it's amazing how many times Lincoln ran before, and where would we be if he hadn't,
Well, I'm not trying to break Lincoln's record.
No, it'd be nice if you pull one out for a change.
Yeah, that's right.
But we have a special election to fill a vacated seat from a victorious run for Congress, and that's the one you're after. That would be what, Senate seat 18?
Senate seat 18. It encompasses Robertson and most of Sumner County.
And this would be filling the seat of
Diane Black. Yes.
Diane, who, of course, won her congressional race and is off in this Tea Party class to take the oath come January in Washington, D.C. This is obviously a district you live in, or you wouldn't be running there. What's important to the people in this district, and what's important about you that they need to know?
Well, I think jobs, economic development, and education are the things that we hear over and over again. People want to have jobs in the counties, and they want to have good jobs, not just any jobs. And I think the role that you can play as a state senator is that you can get involved with the economic development boards and really try and attract the right kind of jobs to the county. We also have children in public schools, so we have a very vested interest in the state of our public schools, and I think it's great. We've got we've seen a lot of progress in our schools. We've seen a lot of administrators who have gone the extra mile to try and make things better for our kids, but I want to get involved and try and make them the best in the state.
One of the easiest things to say, and effective, we learned, in a campaign, I'm for education, that's it. Or to bring up how much you're going to spend on education. And the truth of the matter is we've thrown a lot of money into education, and money isn't always the solution.
Money's not the answer, freedom's the answer. And when I say freedom...
Accountability.
Yes.
Responsibility.
Right. When we look at the parents, when we look at the teachers, when we look at the administrators, we've got fine people involved in our schools, and they know what the children need. They just need the freedom to be able to do it. And I think that the federal government pushes down all these mandates when they're not in the classroom with our kids. And I think when the parents and the teachers and the administrators get together, they know what's best for the kids.
What about just a return to, what it's supposed to be? Education, reading, writing, arithmetic, history, civics, geography, geology. It's so much influenced by the lobby groups, by the far left, the intelligentsia. It's become, I always say, and I mean this to be provocative, but it's become about indoctrination, not education. It is more focused on tolerance, diversity, and social engineering than it is the basics. And our kids need to read, they need to write, they need to know history and civics, they need to advance and be prepared for college and then prepared for the workforce.
Well, one thing we
I think it's a little bit of priorities.
Yes. Well, when you get outside the metropolitan area and you get into the rural areas and the country areas, your schools are probably more traditional, what we've used to see in the past, and there's not quite as much of that indoctrination that goes on. So one thing that we've been happy about is we haven't detected any social agenda with our children. We've got kids in elementary school and in high school, and their courses are pretty core. They're very germane to the fundamental goals of education, and we watch for that. We watch to see when is some agenda item, liberal agenda item, going to creep into the curriculum, and so far we really haven't seen it, and that's a good sign.
Kerry Roberts is running for state senator in Tennessee. That'll be District 18. It's a special election coming up on January 20th. When you add in the holidays, everybody will blink, and it'll be past New Year's. Very little time to get out there and get the word out and prepare, and so we wanted everybody to follow up on what you've been doing since your congressional run, and that's what you've decided. Boy, with what will end up being about 20, 30 days of campaigning, it's really difficult to get it all done that quick.
Early voting starts January 4th.
Even worse.
So that's so that's really just right around the corner, and that is one advantage I think from having been in the congressional race is we knew immediately the people to call to get involved with the campaign, so we could make some progress real fast. And I made a lot of mistakes in the congressional campaign. I'm determined not to repeat them this time.
Well, and that's exactly why we did this. 10:40 today, and of course you'll be on with Steve Gill Monday morning. Try to help improve some of the mistakes you made the first time. No, all joking aside, one of the things that came up out of the November 2nd election, people talk about the makeup of Congress, but the seat gains at the state level in the legislatures and the gubernatorial mansions. I mean, for the first time in the history of our state, we're going to have a complete control of the Republican Party, I say we, and the governor's mansion together. And with that, everybody always thinks, oh, well, there's nothing we can't get done. But, you still got to have ideas, and you still got to have the right people in these committees and in these rooms who, represent the values and beliefs and the interests of their constituents in their district, but also collectively, have the mindset to think and move us forward because you have a tremendous opportunity. It's going to take the right team to execute it. And I think fiscally, you bring a lot of things to the table that would be that would have been very useful in Washington, but they'll be very useful at the state level as well.
Well, thank you. And I think just because the Republicans have taken control doesn't mean that we can throw common sense out the window.
Right.
And otherwise we just see the pendulum swing right back in a few years. So I think one of the things that I do hear a lot is let's not blow it this time. And,
sure.
And of course, on the national level, people are thinking back to the past few years and what happened with the Republican Party. But here in the state, it's really exciting because a lot of issues are really starting to push forward. We've got immigration is an issue that's really gaining some traction. We've got issues concerning, the Islamic issue, Sharia law that's going to move forward, and of course we've got the budget battle.
And even if you legislatively move forward in one accord, truth of the matter is there's still an opportunity and a need for you to explain to a state and to the Democrats. Right. In other words, when we have a legislative session, I hope we handle our committee responsibilities better than they did, and I hope when we make our cases or we start a direction, we explain it better, and it's going to be important to do so.
Winning people over is really critical in this process because when you go to a place like Sumner County or Robertson County and you start talking to someone, well, what are your beliefs? Well, they're pro-life, they're pro-Second Amendment, they think the government's too much in our business, and then you ask them, well, are you a Republican or a Democrat? And they say, well, I'm a Democrat. And they're a Democrat because their father was a Democrat. Right. And they share a lot of the same beliefs. Well, it doesn't make sense to shout that person down, call them a name, paint them in a corner. What makes sense is to win them over because they know their party's left them. They know what's going on in Washington. They're embarrassed by what they've seen their party do in Washington, and they're conservative, and they're ready to come over. But if we're, yelling at them or making fun of them, they're not going to do it.
If those and you don't have much time to decide. Listen, I don't think so much of myself that an endorsement's worth anything, and then I joke about it being a kiss of death. It's not. Kerry's a good man, and I believe in him. And these are the kind of statesmen and servants and servant leadership we need in our republic. So if you live in Senate District 18, I would love for you to take the opportunity to get to know him and what he stands for better. If you like this show, you're going to like Kerry Roberts. It's that simple. So what's the website for the new one?
KerryRoberts.com. We're in the process of, actually, the old website's
So I'll still see your Congress smile.
That's right. You'll still see that.
You should have done some new pictures with you frowning. I lost.
I do have a new Facebook page, and I want to point that out.
Okay.
Facebook does not allow you to rename pages, so I want people that are on my Kerry Roberts for Congress Facebook page to like my new Facebook page, which is simply Kerry Roberts. And I do have new pictures. You need to check it out.
All right. When we get home, send me something. I'll put that right on my wall for the 4,500 that are Facebook friends of myself. And then look for them at KerryRoberts.com. That'll get updated very soon. Short time, lot to do. Big God, all things are possible.
That's right.
Now, if I'm going to get the blame for you losing the first one, do I get the credit for you winning this?
You know what? You'll get the credit. How about that?
Kerry, God bless you. I know he does in all that you do. Good man, good husband, good father, good accountant. You're going to be a great state senator. Hope it works out for you. 10:48. When we come back, you might want to put an eye on Venezuela because a missile could be coming from Iran through Venezuela. I'll tell you how next.